Hey everyone, it's about that time to do the weekly update on the Defiance funds. Today is Sunday, March 24th, and today I'll actually cover some details on the five newest Defiance ETFs: QQQY, JEPY, IWMY, TRES, and SPY-T. So real quick, quick update from their website. QQQY, net assets sitting at 290 million. Ex-dividend date, it should be coming up pretty soon. So if we check out those dates, we're looking at what? Well, declaration date is actually, March 28th. So, that's coming up very soon. So we should be able to produce somewhat of a estimate, which, in reality, though, it's going to be still within the same range, maybe a little less because the price of QQQY has dropped. So as long as they yield around the same amount, it'll be okay. But we'll see. So that's QQQY. JEPY actually it looks like it's now in third place behind IWMY. If you look at the net assets total 139 million. And then IWMY net assets are 140 million. So IWMY is now number two as far as these funds go. Even though, in my personal opinion, I think JEPY is the safer option of the three. Obviously, it's not as volatile, so it won't produce the same premium income, but it shouldn't fluctuate as much as the others. But either way, we'll take a look at the data in a second. TRES, again, this is a newer fund, still pretty small. I guess it's not coming as popular as the others. They're looking at net assets. They're 3.12 million. I don't own TRES, by the way. SPY-T, they're 3.55 million, which, that's past. So SPY-T already passed TRES. So, but I think SPY-T has a great future. I'm a big fan of SPY-T, and I am a big fan of QQQY, JEPY, and IWMY still. So, anyway, let's go to the spreadsheet. So, if we first pull up QQQY, again, the last payment was 80 cents, but since that date, we zoom in here, column E in yellow, this is how much month-to-date earnings they've had, which, again, it started off pretty bad, right? They dropped 26 cents in a day. They dropped 18 cents in a day. Those days are tough to turn around. So if they have a few days like that in a month, it's not that great. But they're still in the positive. They're at 9 cents. However, like I said, declaration date coming up on March 28th. So, they're not gonna make enough to what they pay. So they're gonna be paying more than what they made, at least based on the data that I show. However, I did show now on the right the total return column. Now, what this is going to show is how much, QQQY has gone up in price, which obviously they have gone down in price, plus dividends. So in total, if you bought this day one, you would be up $1.80 total return, or 8.94%. Now, like I said, this is total return. So this is dividends, plus or minus whatever capital depreciation there was. So you'd still be in the positive. So, but the way these funds work, these are income funds. The idea is they're going to make enough premium to pay you out the income. But if they don't make enough premium that month, they're still going to pay you, around the same percentage. So unfortunately, yes, that's going to come from the capital. So that's, again, it's pretty simple. These are how the funds work. So if that's not something you're into, then you don't buy it. It's as simple as that. Obviously, these past 2 months for QQQY, at least, not producing the best, right? Like if you look at last month, they produced 43 cents. They paid 80. So, ideally you'd like it to make 80 and pay 80. in a perfect world, or even make more and pay less. But lately they've been making less and paying more. So hopefully, things turn around. But it's been, you get the big news in one day and the market goes down. It's just a tough thing to come back to. All right, so here's JEPY. Again, this one's my favorite one of the three. Since the 60-cent payment last month, what are we looking at? Again, they had a bad day, 15 cents down. They didn't really, they weren't making much, 6 cents. They were up to 7 cents, and then they dropped 10 cents. And then, sure enough, they did okay, but they bounced out. They're at 26 cents right now, so that's okay. Again, if you look at the last dividend, they paid 60 cents. So if they pay around that same range, they're probably not going to make 60 cents this month, but maybe they'll make 30, 40 cents, and maybe that's what they'll pay. But again, time will tell. My calculations are just simplicity. It's simply just taking the change in the NAV, right? Which is basically the stock price. Now, what is the stock price? The stock price is the net asset value divided by outstanding shares. So when the NAV moves, since these funds only produce, it's basically options income. It's money on the put every single day. That's what I'm showing that they made every day. So for example, 321, I'm showing they made 7 cents per share that day. The day before, 11 cents per share. So, like I said, month to date income for JEPY, we're looking at 26 cents so far. And then if you go to the right, you look at total return, column G, inception to date, which again, most of these start at $20 or so. They're up $1.76 or 8.8% return, which, that's not bad. But again, a lot of it was paid out. So you don't see it in the price. You see it in your wallet. You see it in the cash. And one thing to note, total return percentage that I'm using, it does not count this as dividend reinvestment. If you did a total return, which includes the dividend reinvestment, obviously this number would be much, much more. Now, this is simply just as if you collected the income as cash, right? Because that's what we care about. We want the income as cash. I don't know about you guys, but when I buy an income fund, I don't want to have to put everything back. I'm okay with putting some back, but not all of it. So that's why I like to keep the total return calculation simple based on, simply just taking all of the income as cash. So again, that's JEPY. They're at 26 cents currently, and we'll see how the rest of the month goes. IWMY. So last month they paid, where are we at? $1.10, which was a huge surprise considering they only made 16 cents. Since then, right off the bat, they made, they're up to 24 cents. They got up to 22, 41, up and down. Here we go. But as of 322, they were actually up to 66 cents on 321. And then look at one day, 19 cents is lost. It's a damn shame. But either way, they're doing the best of the three. They're up to 47 cents per share in total earnings. This is all income, all income considered. So keep in mind, they will pay based on the extrinsic income. So if you want that number, you have to go to Max Convexity's channel, who is tracking this similar to the way I used to and breaking it down day in and day out. And, it's a lot of work. So you gotta appreciate it. So shout out to Max, still covering the Defiance funds. So anyway, we're looking at 47 cents so far. And, we got some time. They could earn more. But guess what? They're going to pay. They're probably still going to pay $1. So there's, this is another fund. It looks like all three funds are going to pay more than what they made. Which, again, most people are just going to say, the famous words, NAV erosion, right? NAV erosion. But again, this is an income fund, and this is how it works. So the company, Defiance, is going to pay the people their income. They're going to make regardless of what they make, they're going to really try to reward the shareholders the income that they're looking for, because people are living off of this income. So, and I get it. I get that whole thing. So, but it's been, a rough couple months lately, a rough few months. But in the end, IWMY, surprisingly, the best of the three. But it's not enough. It's not enough to pay what they're going to pay, which, again, it's all good. We'll see how it plays out. These funds are still new, and I'm going to track them just like this every single week and see how it goes. Total return on IWMY from day one, $2.09 or 10.35% gain, which is pretty damn good. This is the newest fund, and it's performing the best. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Again, this is just as if it was the dividends were paid in cash, So, like I said, if you reinvest from day one, the total return would be more. So, just keep that in mind. And if you want to run those numbers, you can. There's several ways to do it online. But again, I like to look at things as a true income fund, as taking it as cash. Now, TRES, this one, again, I'm not a fan of this one. I just added it because, some people are a fan. So I figured I'd, just take a look and see what they're doing. These came out, January of this year. So if we look at, month to date income, last month, again, these funds, they don't work the same as the QQQYs and whatnot. They work a little differently. So tracking it the way I'm doing it is not, doesn't give it as much justice. But again, I'm just looking at the price change. Similar. They paid 26 cents last month, but, overall, the stock went down 67 cents. Since then, month-to-date income, we're down $1.26 since last month. So total return, negative 9.65%. So again, TRES, TRES, not performing that great. Again, this is just based on my view. If you look at the details, maybe they're doing something more impressive, but just on this look alone, not the best start. Now, SPY-T is a brand new fund. This one really just came out in March. If we look at their month-to-date income, they're looking at 28 cents. So, they haven't made a payment yet. Hopefully they make a declaration on March 28th. That's my fridge making noise right next to me in the garage. Yes, I'm in the garage again because I'm making this video while everyone's sleeping. Because that's what you got to do. Supposed to be running, but it's freezing out. I don't know. I'm debating on that still. But anyway, they just came out in March. It's still March, but they're up 1.4% total return. They haven't paid a dividend, so this is just capital appreciation. So it looks like, they're up 28 cents. I have no idea, I think they're going to pay 20% yield, right? So, we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting fund for sure. I'm a fan. So what else? What else we got here? We got the summary. Nothing new to cover. I'll update April's, payment information when we get it. But nothing to really talk about. We kind of went through the details before. So that's the Defiance update. Again, QQQY and JEPY, those were the first ones to come out. They came out in September, and then IWMY came out in December, and then TRES in March. And then SPY-T came out in March as well. Well, when I say came out, this is obviously when they paid. So it's not actual launch month. This is actual first payment month. So hopefully that made sense. Anyway, that's the Defiance update. Again, I like to keep it simple, short and sweet. So hopefully this does some justice for you guys. Again, overall, the funds are not performing the best, for sure. IWMY is the best of the three. But in reality, you'd like to see some months where they're making more income than what they pay out. And these past few months, if you go to the summary, in March, you see the payment is greater, right? It's greater than what they made. And then if you go to February, the payment is greater than what they made. January, at least, that was the last month that they made more than what they paid. So that's good. And then December, of course, Two of the three made more than what they paid, and then the prior 2 months before that, when they first launched, they did not do as well. So you get the gist. But this is why I'm tracking it, because I want to see how they perform. And yes, I do own all three. I forget how many shares of each, but I'm a fan, even though I'm not retired. But these could be a good addition to your retirement fund if you were living off income. I'm not living off income. I'm using it to reinvest. Some to these own funds and some to other funds. So we'll see how it goes. But again, because I work full time, I cannot sell daily puts, nor do I want to. I am doing options now, though, but more so on a weekly. Touch and go, right? It's because normal people work when the stock market's open, so normal people cannot do their own options like this. So that is why we pay them. People always wonder, why don't you do your own options? Well, I have a job. My job is open only when the stock market's open, so I can't just sit there and be like, do. Nor do I want, nor can I. I can't sell daily puts on these. I don't know what the hell to pick. But anyway, that's why we pay them. So as always, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. Yeah. That's all I got today. If you do enjoy these weekly updates, please continue to hit the like button, or you can express your feedback on the comments below. If you have any questions, concerns, or anything you'd like to be added to this, feel free to let me know. I'll consider it because again, these obviously you saw I added total return that wasn't there before, so I'm adding things as I go. Since I'm trying to realize this is a weekly update, I'd like to talk about everything that's important to these funds, because I am still a huge fan of these funds. Obviously, I just had to stop covering them daily because the amount of work that was involved, but you get the gist. So anyway, guys, I gotta go. Hopefully, I go running. We'll see. Right now, I'm just like, I don't know. I gotta wake up. But either way, thank you for watching and have a great day. No keyword. Sorry, no keyword. Maybe next time. Later.